I think the theme has been evoked. We're here to reflect. We're here to look back at those 4 or 5 years of engagement as civil society in the Berlin process.
The most important thing that this process brought is actually to challenge the status quo. And this is what I like with the Civil Society Forum. It was really the place, the platform, the environment to actually exchange views and a little bit shake around what's going on in the region.
As much as it is important to articulate through activist organizations what do people want, what do people think, and to inspire the energy, it is also important to find the ways to streamline the findings, if you agree, Felix, to decision-making process.
That has done this tremendous path since 4 years, meeting twice a year. And being present in so high political process, I think we need all an applause for the Civil Society Forum. We are still here, we are still alive and still kicking. I think it's fantastic.
The idea of having this exchange between governments and members of parliaments and civil society, I mean, the idea is good. It's obviously making a stronger move against authoritarian regimes and the authoritarian tendencies in certain countries. But the question is actually these recommendations and these suggestions on where to go, what to do, is actually being a sort of conversation that is not going anywhere in the end.
But the main goal and the main rationale for me, from my perspective, is reconciliation. We need a situation where political elites, people from this region, can talk about problems in an open manner.
In many ways, when countries and officials are not really inclined to invest political capital in resolving bilateral issues, civil society can actually play a major role, both in preparing the ground for a movement, for a breakthrough, also in implementation of the resolution of bilateral disputes.
Civil society ought to be discussing the unknowns and discovering the unknowns, which the politicians cannot do because the politicians will have to rely on the votes. Civil society does not need those votes. It can explore the truths the way it sees fit, even making mistakes, because these are not electoral mistakes. You are not paid back in a negative way.
Модерната политика овде на Западниот Балкан со време на Европа се повеќе станува свесна во делот на потребата, служејќи им на граѓаните да се градат мостови, заради тоа што мостовите отвараат перспективи. Само преку мостови може да видиме што има од другата страна на самиот мост и сето тоа да отвара бескрајни можности за нашите граѓани.
When it comes to walls, I think it's also very important to clarify that the walls in the region are very often mental walls. Okay, we are so close to each other, we live together, we have so many similarities that sometimes we do create our own mental walls in order to make sense of this osmosis, of this integration.
Fighting for a freedom, for a democracy, for an atmosphere where everyone can easily, freely criticize the government. And I'm sure that now we have that atmosphere.
I think education on many layers is lacking in all of our societies, in particular civic education, which is the crucial thing. I think we've seen some of the positive outcomes in the last 1 or 2 years, not only here in Macedonia, of what really good best practices of civic education and its application can trigger.
In all these years, we have the citizen has not really been seen or perceived as part of the policy or decision making. It's like earlier it was certainly not wanted nor seen as part of decision making. We have to work in creating the awareness on the responsibility on each and every citizen to monitor, to engage, to contribute, to raise the voice, and just be an active, responsible citizen.
Well, we have a different way to gain legitimacy in various ways, and we need to work on that, and we need to kind of build on that. This is something that I would definitely advise keep in mind that citizens do know, do listen to the citizens as in what kind of things they want to find out.
The problem with that is that, of course, enlargement is a very demanding technical process that touches on core issues of politics.
All the backlash, all the backsliding throughout these years, everything that was registered as a shortcoming of the system, in my opinion, is a result of lack of political will and effort, which comes as a result of impasse in the European integration.
The Brussels can give the path, the Brussels can give the tools in terms of assistance, help, can perhaps be more blunt with the reports of experts and peer reviews, and that's part also of the strategy announced in the year. But in the end of the day, somebody has to deliver on this, and this is not Brussels, this is not member states, these are the countries.